Do you want to make a difference? Do you want to take a stand? Do you want to be of service to uplift your fellow man?
Greetings to all of our viewers out there, and thank you so much for watching us here on ECAT, Eastern Community Access Television. I'm Dave Clifton.
And I'm Valerie Perry.
And we're at the Rotary District Conference at the Seacrest Beach Hotel in North Falmouth, Massachusetts. What a beautiful facility this is. And of course, we have the Rotary District 7950 Conference, and of course, 65 Rotary clubs represented in District 7950. Dave is our district governor. He's from the Rotary Club of Sandwich, Massachusetts. A great place to go for a sandwich, would you say? Thank you so much, Governor, for joining us.
Thank you, Dave. It's the Bourne Sandwich Club, but you're right. It is covering sandwich. Yeah, we're very happy to be here, and we're an organization of 1,800 members, as Dave said, 65 clubs, and we service the area from Quincy on the south shore of Boston, all the way down to Cape Cod, including Cape Cod and the islands, and the entire state of Rhode Island. So we do an awful lot of good things throughout our area. Each of those clubs is represented here today.
District Governor Dave Sampson from the Bourne Sandwich Club. And Val, of course, is a past district governor like myself. And in between the both of us, we have the current sitting governor. And of course, this cablecast is a production of ECAT, Eastern Community Access Television. I know, Governor, that it's the final event. Leadership in Rotary goes from July 1st to June 30th. This is one of your last major events, and it's been an interesting year. I'm sure you enjoyed visiting all the clubs.
Yeah, yes, the big part of this job is to visit each one of those clubs during the year and learn about what they're doing, look at their successes as well as their challenges, and try to provide them with the kind of information that's going to help them to be a better club. Not that I'm the expert that knows every answer, but it's a question of working with them, not telling them what to do. And every club has their own way of helping their community. But that's the main purpose of Rotary, is to help others that need help.
Wonderful. Past District Governor Val Perry, co-host here for our show called Service Matters. This is a show that likes to talk about the positive things, the good things that happen in local communities throughout our district. Val, maybe you can explain to our viewing audience what territory does the district include?
The district includes the entire state of Rhode Island, southeastern New England, Cape Cod, and the islands of Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. It's very widespread, especially a governor from Rhode Island who traveling more than 10 miles is a long distance. So I did cover a lot of territory when I was governor, but that's the entire district.
We're going to ask Governor Dave Sampson if he could share with us. His significant other is running a project for young people, providing toiletries, and that's what all of our Rotarians are doing here at the conference, making sure we take care of young people.
My partner is Beth Griffin. She is a mental health professional and works in a school. She runs an Interact Club, which is a club for youth connected to the Rotary Club. She has been the advisor for that club for over 10 years. The club has been in existence for almost 20 years. But what they're doing today is they're collecting the kinds of personal items that a youngster who is in foster care might need if they had to transition from one place to another. And just to explain that to you a little bit, sometimes when a foster child is in a placement that is not working out for whatever reason, whether it's just not a healthy place for the youngster to be, the youngster just isn't happy there, or whatever it might be, sometimes they're removed very quickly. If the Children and Family Services think the child might be in danger or whatever, they just snap them right out of there. And they'll often come to the school on a Friday afternoon or whatever afternoon and say, come, you're coming with me. Well, they've got the clothes on their back and they've got their school books, and they're moving to somewhere they don't know. So what Beth and her group are doing is putting together kits, if you will, that as that youngster is going out, she grabs a kit, gives it to the youngster, and now they've got toiletries. They've got things to cleanse themselves, a toothbrush, just whatever you might need if you were to go overnight or a couple of nights to hold them over, because they literally have the clothes on their back when they go out the door.
A terrific program, and a big thank you to the governor and his significant other. She is truly working behind the scenes, and I know that you give her a lot of credit. We'd like to give a shout out and a thank you to Kim Penkus, who is the Executive Director of ECAT, Eastern Community Access Television, for covering this Rotary event that we will share with other communities scattered throughout our Rotary district. Val, it's always nice to come to a conference, and it's a great opportunity to say thank you to the sitting governor for his hard work during the Rotary year 2022-23.
Thank you very much.
Yep, it's been a great year, and a lot of club successes and all, and I'm sure you're very proud of all 65 clubs.
We're going to take a short break, and of course I always remember that saying, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of helping others. What does Rotary do? It's a worldwide humanitarian organization of men and women, business and professional people, united together to serve. The motto, service above self, and of course the mission is to do good in the community and to reach beyond to do good in the world. Hurry back.
I'm Bill Kerfoot from the Falmouth Rotary, and we have a booth here. We oversee this district meeting, and we have a large booth here on two of our main areas of influence and what we're working on. One side of this is youth. We put a lot of effort into working with the school systems and actually turning out nature trails and outside classrooms so that kids can learn more outside as well as inside. And they really have liked this. We've just gone through and cooperating with the public school system and have put in now nature trails on all of the number 4 elementary schools across town. We also are involved in the Kids Fair, which is a day of play in the center of town on the library front, where adults and children come to actually play. One aspect we found is that children very oftentimes concentrating on inside the school works lose contact with outside. And in this particular case, they seem to really enjoy getting outside with their parents on a particular day to be able to play. Then these represent all sorts of games like tic-tac-toe, over 30 different types of games and practices. They're like tic-tac-toes, like a regatta drain spout race that's done with little boats that are wind-powered, so that's a wind-powered alternative. The kids have a chance to go and touch through vehicles that are electric-powered, so they get the alternative to the conventional gasoline-powered vehicles. and a whole bunch of different activities similar to that. Now, the other area that we're involved in is internationally. In this case, it has to deal with anti-trafficking situations. Robin, who's going to talk here in just a second, has been in charge of this for now at Rotary for over 3 years, and it involves traveling to Nepal and talking with the Nepalese to try and stop trafficking from their area. And individuals within our Rotary actually talk over the telephone and over the email and the networks with people who are in Nepal.
So I'm Robin Singer from the Falmouth Rotary Club of Cape Cod, and I lead an anti-trafficking effort. There are 50 million people in the world today who are enslaved in a whole variety of ways. We mostly work with sex trafficking and bonded labor, and we help girls get an education for prevention, particularly in places like Nepal, where there are entire villages where 75% of the girls and women get trafficked or forced into child marriage. What our Rotary Club does is we work with an organization called Her Future Coalition, and one of the things we do for them is we teach over Zoom in a village where girls in that region who are at high risk of being trafficked are living in a hostel near a school, and the children are educated in a school that was founded by a trafficking survivor who got a lot of the funding from Her Future Coalition. And we teach over Zoom, so girls who maybe never got, for their first 14 or 15 years, never even learned their ABCs or 1, 2, 3s, now we're bringing them up to the high school level over Zoom. And we just funded a solar project so that when the horrible power situation craps out, we will have battery backup and solar power so that we don't lose the Zoom connections. So that's been an exciting piece of it. We also sell jewelry. This jewelry is made by survivors of the brothels, and they've been taught how to be metalsmiths, so they can actually make as much as a high school graduate by making jewelry. And if they were survivors of the brothels, and they would have, and they were freed, but they would end up back in the brothel if they couldn't make a living some other way. So by teaching them jewelry making, we're keeping them free from the brothels. Some other programs, there's some sewing programs. These are the jewelry makers in Kolkata, right here. I don't know if you can focus on this picture. This is the hostel in Nepal that's being built so that even more girls will be able to come out of the villages and go to school instead of being child brides or trafficked. This is the school that was founded by this lady, Anjali Tamang, who was trafficked, spent 3 years in the brothels, horrible situation. She was the age of 11 when she was trafficked, spent 3 years under terrible, horrible situations. I don't know what you're allowed to say on camera, but very bad things happened to her there. And with the help of Her Future Coalition, she came back and founded this school to prevent it for these girls and many others. So.
Welcome back to Service Matters. I'm Dave Clifton.
And I'm Valerie Perry.
And of course, our guest, Steve Albright. We're at the Rotary Convention at the beautiful Seacrest Hotel. Call it a resort if you wish. But this facility is overlooking the ocean. What a beautiful place to come. It happens to be the site for the 2023 Rotary District Conference. And I know that Rotary does a lot of major things scattered throughout the world, represented in over 200 countries. And our hope is to eradicate polio. And Val, there's lots of other things happening as well.
There are, this district conference reminds me of many years ago when I first became a Rotarian. I went to a district conference just a few months after I joined and didn't know too much about Rotary. And then I saw a presentation of Rotary Youth Exchange, and that changed my whole life and thinking about Rotary. And this gentleman to my left is Steve Albright, past district governor, and he's going to tell you about the Rotary Youth Exchange.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, David. Rotary Youth Exchange, we host 8,000 students worldwide every single year in a year-long program. In addition, we do a short-term program. Don't have the specific number, but we're around 4,000 short-term exchanges. And we use it to promote goodwill around our world. Our students go to foreign countries, spend almost a year in school there, staying with host families. We, in turn, receive students from other foreign governments. We host them for a year. They stay with 3 different host families, usually every single year. So it promotes a lot of goodwill. We get to learn a lot about different countries. They get to learn about the USA, how great we really are, and that's just what our whole program is. Currently, we have an exchange student into our district from Ukraine. We brought her in because of all the trouble going on in Ukraine. Her mom and dad wanted to get her out of there while the war is going on. So she's staying right here on Cape Cod in Yarmouth, enjoying a great year, and we're hoping to bring her back for a second year, something that's not normally done, but the U.S. State Department made an exception for us and are allowing us to keep the Ukrainian students an extra year, so we're in the process of working on that right now.
We have 3 past district governors standing in front of the camera right now. And of course, we realize how important Rotary is, not just to the community, but around the world. We have 1.3 million Rotarians represented in over 200 countries, and they have what they call a Rotary 4-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to each and every person involved? Steve, you've been a long-time Rotarian. I don't want to have to ask you why you joined Rotary, but what does Rotary mean to you?
Rotary, when you see everything that we do, it means helping other people, whether it's in our own communities, whether it's around the world. We do good things around the world. We provide clean drinking water, proper sanitation, education, a lot of programs for ladies in disadvantaged countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan. So we do great things around the world, and that's what really brought me, and that's what keeps me in Rotary.
Well said. We have about 150, maybe 165 Rotarians scattered throughout this conference site. And what do they do when they come to a conference like this? Well, they learn how to network. They learn about the opportunity to enjoy good fellowship. They attend educational sessions. They also have a serious business meeting for all clubs to attend, which is attached to the district. Anything that I missed?
We learn about the different projects going on. I can see a shelter box shelter over there. We are Rotary is part of Shelter Box, where if you have a disaster in the world, we send those boxes out. They come with tents and cooking utensils, sleeping bags, everything into them. So it's one of the projects that we do. There's another one called Safe Passage. It's Children of the Dump in Guatemala City, and I just happened to have been there last year with a good friend of mine, Steve Serta, and you just do good things around the world in our communities. So we're learning a lot of different projects that are going on where we can be part of it or we can start our own projects.
Val, anything you'd like to say about Rotary and what it's meant to you?
Well, it's changed my life, that's for sure. I've gained so many friends and networking and leadership training. Rotary has a lot of training, and we're all very involved with that. So Rotary has done a lot, and I've got friends from all over the world now, from Nigeria to Pakistan, and we Facebook, and it's just a wonderful thing. And just to see what all of these projects are doing. This is another good example, as Steve said. We network with other Rotarians and learn what they're doing, and we can get ideas to bring back to our own clubs.
You're watching Service Matters. We like to talk about the good things that are happening in local communities. I think you folks out there watching realize that a lot of crazy things are happening around the world. As someone called and said to me, thank you very much, you and Val, for talking about good things. And that's why they like to watch this TV cablecast. We're going to come back with our final segment of Service Matters, but right now let's take this short time out.
Good afternoon. I'm Steve Serta with the Weymouth Rotary Club, and I'm here at the district conference, and we're displaying our project in Guatemala called Safe Passage. It's a program that deals with the children and families who live in the Guatemala city dump. So the parents of these children go into the dump every day and forage for food, clothing, anything of value that they can sell or trade, and anything they can build a harborage out of. So this program, Safe Passage, deals with the children who live in the dump, and we provide food, we provide a safe place to be during the day. We're giving the children an education, both in English and computer literacy. So when they graduate from our school, they are fully nourished, they're fluent in English, and they have computer literacy, and they're becoming of value to the country of Guatemala. Companies in Guatemala are actually recruiting our children to work for them because of their skill set. If you're interested in getting involved in supporting Safe Passage, we're trying to raise money so we can help support this school. There is a website called safepassage.org. Please feel free to look at that website. Currently, we are raising money to build a new junior high school. This is the picture of the high school, which will be built right at the edge of the city dump on donated land, which used to be dump material. This school is going to be as nice as any school here in the United States, right in the dump for children who live in the dump.
Welcome back to the final segment of Service Matters. This is an opportunity to have you meet some of our guests. We're so happy. This is a production of ECAT, Eastern Community Access Television, that Val and I hope to share with other communities scattered throughout our Rotary District. Most every community has a community access TV station. This is a good chance for us to share this with Rotary. And on the other hand, we'd like to shout out a big thank you to the Lions Club, located in Easton, Massachusetts, where this TV station is located. What a super job they do as well with community service. They have one of the largest Lions clubs in their district. Our guest right now is Dr. Lou Marciano. He's a guy who has not only been a past president, he's been a president's rep, Rotary International. He has done just about everything that a Rotarian could do in a district. We thank you so much for joining us here on the TV show.
It's always a pleasure to be with you, Dave. You always do a great job.
Thank you very much. He also brought a member of his club, Tom Glasso, and he's from the Rotary Club of Cranston, Rhode Island, like Dr. Marciano, and that's a club that's very active.
Yes, we've come a long way in the past few years. We just finished a project that took us nearly 3 days to do. We completely refurbished the senior center exterior program where we did a lot of painting. We pulled out some old broken down benches and built tables and built places where they can grow food. And Tom was a big part of that. He coordinated it.
Nice job, Tom. What have you got to say about Lou Marciano?
Absolute legend. It's a true honor and inspiration to be around Lou Marciano. He's an incredible human being.
And I have volunteered to run his 100th birthday celebration. He's 98 this year. He speaks like a guy who's 69. But I'll tell you something, Lou Marciano is a name that we'll always remember here in Rotary District 7950. I remember your district conference. Where was it held?
We held my district conference in Bermuda, and we had 265 people show up, and we had the time of our lives.
Val, interesting. Where was your district conference?
My district conference was in Mystic, Connecticut, and it was a joint conference with a Rotary district in Long Island.
It's an opportunity at a district conference to not only salute the sitting district governor, but it's an opportunity to bring club officers and members of Rotary clubs scattered throughout District 79, 50 to enjoy some fellowship and to do a lot of networking that can help them in their leadership roles in the district. I wanted to ask you, Dr. Lou Marciano, how do we stand with the eradication of polio?
Well, we've done a great job. We began eradicating polio actually in 1989, and since then, when there were 350,000 new cases each and every year, we are currently down to about 7 cases in the whole wide world, and they exist in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and with a little help from God, we will soon have a complete world free of poliomyelitis.
Well said. Val, some final comments you'd like to make. We're at the Rotary District Conference at the fabulous Seacrest Hotel on the shores of the ocean.
This is a beautiful place, and for anyone watching this broadcast, if you want to join Rotary, you've got a lot of information here, but Dave Clifton is from the Sharon Rotary Club. I'm from East Providence, Seekonk, so you'd have to travel a little bit. And Tom and Lou are from the Cranston Club, but there are 65 clubs throughout the district, quite a few in your area. So give somebody a call because we'd love to have you, and you would change your life.
Final comment you'd like to make, Dr. Lou Marciano? There may be somebody out there that's interested in joining this Rotary Club. What would you like to say to them? You and I have been Rotarians for a number of years.
Yep. I joined Rotary 51 years ago because my college roommate had become a member, and I knew zero about Rotary. And I can tell you this, my life was completely changed once I got into Rotary. And thank God that I did, because it's been a big part of my life.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lou Marciano. Tom, we thank you for joining us here. To our listening audience, we say that wraps it up for this TV show. I'm Dave Clifton.
And I'm Valerie Perry.
Bidding you farewell from the Oceanside Seacrest fabulous hotel, and of course located in North Falmouth, Massachusetts. We say to each and every one of you out there watching, go forth to serve, do it with a smile on your face. And if you're going to do something good to help someone out, do it with the dignity that it deserves. Have a terrific weekend. Congratulations, Boston Celtics, and go Bruins.
Do you want to make a difference? Do you want to take a stand? Do you want to be of service to uplift your fellow?